Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia right here. Listen, man, Calvin Kattar has had a rough go. You're coming off of 4 straight losses, one finish in those 4 losses, so it's not the end of the world, right? And that one finish doesn't count as a finish because you popped your knee. It just kind of was what it was. But Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, and then surprisingly to some, Yusuf Zalal, even though he did close as a pretty heavy favorite right there. Now you get the young gun riding a 5-fight knockout streak, not a win streak, but a knockout streak, all in the first or second round, in Steve Garcia. And this is just a clash of styles right here, man. The first thing that I have here is you have like a clean, orthodox striker in Calvin Kattar who does take a little bit to get going, but fights behind that long jab, cuts off the cage well, all that fun stuff. And then you just got like a menace of a southpaw who just swarms you and swings big. The most surprising thing that I had to relearn, I suppose, from watching back the Garcia tape over the last 5 is his finishes aren't just like bonking you on the head and getting you out of here necessarily, man. It's like he drops you with the one and then he swarms you with the ground and pound. He follows you down and he gets it out of there right there. Does Calvin Kattar at 37 years old still have the mobility to stay away from those Garcia flurries?
The mobility, Derek, I don't think so, man. I think that the footwork and the head work, it will be probably one of the best things for Calvin Kattar to do. But when Steve Garcia, especially how long he is, because I believe he has the reach advantage right here. Yeah, 3-inch reach advantage. I mean, and I don't have the height on me, but the way Steve Garcia fights, like you said, man, one of the best things I like about it, he's mean. That is who he is. He's going to push the fight, get in there, do people dirty. That's why he's called the Mean Machine. The technical style and the proficiency of boxing that Calvin Kattar has, I think that's going to be the thing that carries him the most. But movement, evasion, I think it's all in favor of Steve Garcia right here.
Yeah, Steve Garcia, he's only 1 inch taller than Kattar, so it's not like a massive discrepancy in terms of size. But that's the thing, man, and this is going to sound wacky. Anybody who knows what they're talking about is going to listen to this and be like, what the hell are you talking about? I think the clean, crisp striking of Calvin Kattar is kind of to his detriment in this matchup right here. Because this fight, for Kattar to win this fight, especially as a plus 100 dog, so the line is definitely creeping right here for him. But for him to win this fight, it needs to be clean. The messier this fight is, the more of a scrap of a true fight and not like a boxing match that this is. I think it favors Steve Garcia, even though I'm not super impressed with the striking of Garcia, to be completely frank with you, man. I just think he got that bonk power that he touches you and dudes are just folding, man. So Calvin Kattar, the other thing is we saw it was proven in the Max Holloway fight, but how many years ago was that now? That was 2021, bro. That was 4 years ago. Well, we saw Calvin Kattar can take a punch, but we also remember performances like that weather the chin, deteriorate the chin. So after that, we haven't seen him really get bonked in a crazy way, but I mean, you haven't gotten a win since the Giga Chikadze fight, and that was just being able to put a kicker on the back foot and make him box and just overwhelm him with pressure. Steve Garcia is going to put you on the back foot, and the one note that we have of Calvin Kattar, which I want your thoughts on if he'll be able to implement, is he said he just needs to get going faster, man. Again, when we look at these fights right here, I mean, he's really good for 5 rounds. But as of late, in these 3-round fights, he's just not getting it done. Do you think he can implement a fast start here against Steve Garcia? And if he does, how does he avoid getting that chin touched?
Yeah, that's the caveat, Derek. How do you avoid getting that chin touch? Because Steve Garcia, as much of not necessarily a wild man, but you're right, not the cleanest, most polished striking. He throws awkward shots in there and he tags you with power. So if Calvin Kattar is going to get this fight started fast, he has to work behind that jab and really, really dominate the fight and make sure that your head movement's on precise, because when Steve Garcia throws it back at you, you need to be hitting first, you need to be hitting third. So that way you can actually do some damage, get some respect, and then hit him with a 5-piece combo, something fast, so that way he knows this, anytime he enters this range, he's not leaving without 1, 2, or 3 at least getting to him. That's the only way I see Calvin Kattar doing this. But just based off tape, I don't see him implementing a heavy jab, walk forward, and just throw combos kind of approach, and then trying to counterpunch after that. I don't know.
And that's where, I mean, that's the thing. That's almost the key to victory. He has a beautiful 1-2 and step in elbow. The exits for Steve Garcia. He leaves his chin high, so it's like you want to take advantage there. But again, I think that that's the key for Steve Garcia is can you force pocket exchanges? And if you can, I think he's the rightful victor right here. This is another one right here, man, where I'm not too sure tracking on a prop, but I like Steve Garcia minus 120. I think you take that one all day right here. Like I said, I think the line is creeping for Calvin Kattar a little bit, but I'm going to take money line, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a decision victory right here. Again, Kattar has shown that the chin has tested, and we haven't seen it fully crack yet. So that's how I'm going to play it, that one. Of course, that means I'm taking the over on 2.5 rounds, plus 120 for the over, minus 154 for the under. How you seeing it?
Yeah, Derek, I like the over on this one as well, man, especially with giving respect to how good Calvin Kattar is, because he's good. I mean, we were just talking that he's slowing down a little bit and that really Steve Garcia outmatches him on a lot of things. But I do think, especially being proficient in the boxing he can make this style of fight a very clean, pretty kind of showcase, if you will, of how Calvin Kattar is elite. But I do like Steve Garcia, man, for this one. I think he has all the style, all the pressure, and he's going to be able to smother Calvin Kattar in that boxing range and force him to fight in that close style, leading to a better fight for Steve Garcia. I'm with you. I like the money line. I know it's not the best for him, but minus 130. I mean, if Steve Garcia is able to finish this fight, that's going to be one of the best lines we're seeing him for in at least a while.
A dude riding a 5-fight knockout streak and you're getting him at minus 130, minus 120, you got to jump on it. Again, Calvin Kattar can play spoiler, but the last couple times that I bet on him to play that spoiler role, we're just not quite getting it done. So leave it at that one right there. And man, especially if you can get a finish, 6 knockouts in a row, making waves in the division right there at 145. All right, man, let's keep it pushing right here.